All right. What is it, January 16th, 2019. Reading from Permaculture, a Designer's Manual by Bill Mollison. Last time I read the preface. Now I'll read the author's note and see how far we get. This volume was written for teachers, students, and designers. It follows on and greatly enlarges on the initial introductory texts, Permaculture 1, 1978, and Permaculture 2, 1979, both of which are still in demand a decade after publication. Very little of the material in this book is reproduced from the foundation texts. Each volume of this work carries a surcharge of 50 cents, which will be paid by Tagari Publications to the Permaculture Institute. The Institute, a public trust, holds the funds so generated in trust for tree planting, and from time to time releases monies to selected groups who are active in permanent reforestation. In this way, both publisher and readers can have a clear conscience about the use of the paper in this volume or in any book published by Tagari Publications. Our trust funds are open to receive any such levy from other ethical publishers. Whoa. Oh! That is some hot stuff. Permaculture defined and its use. Permaculture is a word coined by the author. Its copyright is vested in the Permaculture Institutes and their College of Graduates, and is guarded by them for the purpose of consistent education. Permaculture, permanent agriculture, is the conscious design and maintenance of agriculturally productive ecosystems which have the diversity, stability, and resilience of natural ecosystems. It is the harmonious integration of landscape and people providing their food, energy, shelter, and other material and non-material needs in a sustainable way. Without permanent agriculture, there is no possibility of a stable social order. Permaculture design is a system of assembling conceptual, material, and strategic components in a pattern which functions to benefit life in all its forms. The philosophy behind permaculture is one of working with, rather than against, nature, of protracted and thoughtful observation rather than protracted and thoughtless action, of looking at systems in all their functions rather than asking only one yield of them, and allowing systems to demonstrate their own evolutions. The word permaculture can be used by anybody adhering to the ethics and principles expressed herein. The only restriction on use is that of teaching. Only graduates of a permaculture institute can teach permaculture, and they adhere to agreed-on curriculae developed by the College of Graduates of the Institutes of Permaculture.
Rose fucking loves permaculture. Isn't that so? Fucking perma fucking dog.
Conventions used. References and abbreviations. Minor references are given in the text, and those useful to chapter contents only are located at the close of those chapters. Key references are assembled at the close of the book, and are superscripted as numbers in the text. Seasons and directions. So that the text and figures are useful and readable in both hemispheres, I have used the words sun side or sunwards and shade side or polewards, rather than south and north, and converted months to seasons as below. Used here, summer, early would be June in the northern hemisphere. Maybe I'll just put a picture of this little graph, or this little table, instead of reading it all. I don't think it would make quite sense to read it all. But the gist here is that summer, autumn, winter, spring in the northern hemisphere and in the southern hemisphere he says early summer, and he means June in the northern hemisphere, December in the southern hemisphere, that kind of thing. These may be further refined by the use of first week of ... For the same reason, the symbol below is used in figures to indicate the sun direction rather than the north or south symbol. One hopes this prevents the problem of all those good North Americans wandering on the north face of their hills looking for the sun, poised dangerously upside down on the earth as they are. What? Access to information. Materials in this work can be fairly easily accessed in these ways. Chapter and section contents are listed in the table of contents. Main subjects are listed in the index. There is a list of the common and Latin names of plants used in the text located in the appendix. Also located in the appendix is a glossary of terms used. Some few words are recently coined, or, like permaculture, are the conceit of the author. To forestall needless correspondence, subscription to the International Permaculture Journal gives information on permaculture themes, reviews, recent publications, gives news of events, publishes a directory of permaculture centers, and has a host of other useful data. Further resources are also listed in the appendix, and the address for that was 113 Enmore Road, Enmore, NSW 2042, Australia. Alright, here we go. Cover story. There's a picture of this picture that's on the cover of the book. The great oval of the design represents the egg of life, that quantity of life which cannot be created or destroyed, but from within which all things that live are expressed. Within the egg is coiled the rainbow snake, the earth shaper of Australian and American Aboriginal peoples. Quote, "We have a legend that explains the formation of the hills, the rivers, and all the shapes of the land. Every time it rains and I see a beautiful rainbow, I am reminded of the legend of the rainbow serpent. In the beginning, the earth was flat, a vast gray plain. As the rainbow serpent wound his way across the land, the movement of his body heaped up the mountains and dug troughs for the rivers. With each thrust of his huge, multicolored body, a new landform was created. At last, tired with the effort of shaping the earth, he crawled into a water hole. The cool water washed over his vast body, cooling and soothing him. Each time the animals visited the water hole, they were careful not to disturb the rainbow serpent, for although they could not see him, they knew he was there. Then one day, after a huge rainstorm, they saw him. His huge colored body was arching from the waterhole, over the treetops, up through the clouds, across the plain to another waterhole. To this day, the Aborigines are careful not to disturb the rainbow serpent as they see him, going across the sky from the waterhole to another. From Gulpilil's Stories of the Dreamtime, compiled by Hugh Rule and Stuart Goodman, published by William Collins, Sydney, 1979. Within the body of the rainbow serpent is contained the tree of life, which itself expresses the general pattern of life forms, as further elaborated in the chapter on pattern in this book. Its roots are in earth, and its crown in rain, sunlight, and wind. Elemental forces and flows shown external to the oval represent the physical environment, the sun, and the matter of the universe, the materials from which life on earth is formed. The whole cycle and form is dedicated, as is this book, to the complexity of life on earth.